Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick overview of Beacon and Meribook. So I've had a lot of people trying to compare the two platforms, and I don't think they're very similar. I think they're quite different, addressing two different requirements, but they do have one feature which is capturing leads, which is common. So that's about the extent that I think both of the platforms have in commonality when it comes to capturing leads. So let me recap what Beacon does, and I'll show you an example that I have, and then we'll get into Meribook, and I'll show you a similar example and what is possible with Meribook. So Beacon is more a PDF generation tool, and then on top of that is a pop-up software. So if you look at the options that you have in Beacon when you try to publish, you can publish it and download it as a PDF, or you can publish it and make it available at a link. So a person can visit that URL and look at that content. Those are the two publishing options. And then the other options that you have are more lead generation based. So, you're including a pop-up, you're including a inline lead capture form. So those things, if you have something like convert box or convert full, you'll be able to do the same thing and then deliver your PDF. And that's about the extent of Beacon solution for capturing leads, generating beautiful looking PDF, no doubt about that. When you look at Meribook, it's more a content platform. So think of Meribook more in terms of Teachable, Kajabi, New Zenler. I mean, they have a whole lot more features when it comes to like landing pages and all of that. But in terms of the functionality to deliver content, it's in a course format. So you have a course on Kajabi that somebody accesses or purchases, and then you give them access to that. Similar to ClickFunnels, you have the membership site. When somebody purchases something, you get access to the membership site. Or you can have in ClickFunnels, you can have a free membership site. When somebody subscribes to it, they get access to your free membership site. So think of Meribook as a membership site to deliver your course content rather than generating PDF. Okay? Now, on top of that, Meribook has the functionality to actually create notes, create your content, collaborate with others. So we're bringing the whole process of creating content and distributing content under one platform. Whereas the other platforms, like Teachable or ClickFunnels, they don't worry about creating content on their platform. They expect you to manage that somewhere else. Let's say it's Google Docs where you're collaborating and creating your course material. But then once that is done and you have that in your Word document, you start copying that over into ClickFunnels or Kajabi or whatever other platform you're using. So Meribook is more focused on creating the content within Meribook and then making that available. Okay, and then the last piece I want to focus on for Meribook is the public books functionality that we just recently pushed. What that gives you is more eyeballs on your content. So if you're looking to promote your lead magnet, you would make a free book and people will be able to view it. And then after looking at your free book, you can have within your free book a link to say, hey, click here to subscribe to my, premium content where you have to give me your email ID. So that is how I look at it. So now let me jump back into the PC and I'll show you some of the differences here. Okay, so I'm logged in as a user, a Meribook user, and Now I'm going to go over to the blog section, which is where I have a free lead magnet content. So if I go over here, okay, well, I can sign up right over here. So I have this form. So Beacon would have this as one of their publishing options, right? So I'm going to say Meribook as my name, and okay, so I'm going to sign up for this free Google Analytics book. So what happens in the background is I have a thank you page. I'm using Convert Full in this case in order to direct me to this thank you page, right? And that's a upsell if you want it. That's the portion that we're not really interested in. What I want to show you is the email that would have gone out. So I'm going to bring that here. I'm logged in into my email here, and it says, you are now subscribed to Google Analytics Training Book by Jazzy Marketing. And I'm going to click on that, and it just says you are now subscribed, and there you have that option, right? So I got a notification in the email. Since I already had a Meribook account, I just got the email saying that I subscribed. So now when I go into my account here, if I go to my subscriptions, you'll see that now I have access to Google Analytics training, and it says 2 chapters and 0% complete. So if I go in and I can look at the content here, start viewing the videos. So this is a full-on course with 40 some videos that I just delivered to this user for free with that one sign up. So when the user already had the account with Meribook, all they need to do is really just go in and go to their subscriptions, right? So if you're thinking of Facebook groups, you already logged in into Facebook, you sign up for some Facebook group, and you get access to that Facebook group, right? So once you have that permission given. So similar to that, you can say, I already had an account with Meribook, and then the user signed up for the Google Analytics, and then they got access to it. So as a course platform now, if you go to, let's say, the first video, which is the overview video, let's say as a user, I completed this. So I'm just going to mark it as complete here. In the background, what happened is there's an email that got sent to the book owner saying this user, Meribook, the account that I'm logged in, this specific user completed this section. So from a course platform like perspective, you actually got an update. So imagine if this was your lead magnet content, right? And I sign up for it, and chances are I'm not going to look at it for a couple of weeks, right? I just signed up for it, or maybe I glanced at it and I'm like, okay, fine. And then, but in the meantime, what you have done is you have fired off your, email sequence. You would have sent your first email saying, hey, thank you for signing up for your lead magnet. And then, 4 days later, you would have another email, and 4 days later, another email. And then the 2 weeks have gone. But in the 2 weeks, I haven't really done anything. I haven't even consumed your lead magnet content, right? So in this case, when it is a course platform like this, and I come in 2 months later and I go, oh, you know what? I'm finally going to set up Google Analytics for my website. That part is done. All right, cool. Let me go to the next one. And I'm going to go and complete this one. Okay, and now I'm going to go to the next one and I go, okay, well, creating an account, this is important. So I'm going to pin that. So what just happened is if I go under Google Analytics Basic, which is my first chapter with 20 videos in there, now I have highlighted the third chapter, because that was important to me. So now you can see how this becomes a productivity tool and not just a person hoarding PDF downloads, right? So I think that is where we really excel. So when you're looking for a PDF solution, we want to get you away from PDF as your lead magnet. All right, that PDF solution was so 1980s or 1990, whenever that PDF was created. That was for a different use case, and to this day, marketers are using PDF, which was not meant to be for a lead magnet. In this day and age, you want to give people access to their, to the content on a platform where you can do this type of tracking. You can't do that in PDF. Okay, so there you have it. There's my comparison of Beacon versus Meribook. I think they're two very different platforms, nowhere close to being, similar. Here's another thing I did not highlight. So if I go over to the public books, I talked about it real quick, but if I go over to the public book, here I have a different, getting started Google Analytics. This one only has one chapter and 20 videos. The advanced chapter and the 20 videos that come in that are only available when you sign up. So what I did was I cloned the book, deleted one chapter, and then I made it public. So it was literally like a 5-minute setup to get this up. The other thing that Beacon doesn't have is the communication platform or the community aspect of it. So in this case, let's say you like the video content or you like this content overall and you want to start discussing it. So now it's again like a social platform where you can have discussion on this content. If I go back up one level, people can leave a review on this content that you've provided. So again, social proof in regards to a review coming from a third-party platform is, has a different significance. People will argue social testimonials are not that big, but I think they play an important role. And more importantly, important role when they're provided on a third-party platform rather than on your own platform, because then I don't really, I take the testimonial with a grain of salt, saying, maybe it is true, maybe it isn't true. Again, from an end user perspective, third-party platform review like Facebook review or like Google review has a different significance, or it's different than having it on your website. So if you're thinking, say you want to do a 5-day challenge, you can do something like that on this platform, go through a public book, if you will, and then have people communicate back and forth, and then in the end write a review. Based on that, on those reviews, you can create some sales copy for your actual course, right? So those are some of the ideas that I wanted to throw out. Again, Beacon is, I like it. I've had it for some time now. It does a completely different job. Meribook is completely different in regards to content delivery and interaction with that content. A little longer than I anticipated, but I hope that makes sense. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Bye.